thank you for jumping on this today. I know it's a busy day. We have a lot of farmers and ranchers around Arkansas who are going through these different types of weather today, whether that's breaking ice, who knows, but we've been getting videos from all over. We know that there's some rolling blackouts that might occur. So I just wanted to kind of go through to inform everyone what's going on, what they can learn from this. So Rob, I just want to know, why is this an issue to start during this time?
Sure. We actually, at the co-ops, at the electric co-ops of Arkansas, we began tracking this on Saturday, actually. It was predicted to have record low temperatures, and there were going to be issues with regards to capacity to generate electricity. So unfortunately, this all came true. I guess Monday, when it commenced with the temperatures getting so cold, we were faced with a couple of issues. We were faced with an increased demand from our members of needing more power, and also that situation still of not being able to get fuel to fire up our power plants and run them efficiently. This isn't just a case in Arkansas, it's all across this region, multiple states. So this continued to get worse and worse and worse. In my 20 years at the co-ops, we practiced emergency preparation drills over and over and over to ensure that we could respond properly to situations like this. I'm happy to say that we did so, and we've addressed the issues. Basically, the curtailments that may be called upon are very simple. It'll be, if in fact they happen, it'll be for an hour or less. And many of you that are row crop farmers and do rice, you have interruptible rates on your wells many times because you get a little bit better rate with that. So we've also worked with our industrial members to utilize their interruptible rates, such as Nucor, Yamato Steel, Kraft Paper, Beckert up in the Carroll area. So we used all that we possibly could before we had to begin just a miniature curtailment last night. We've also been urging members and consumers and electric co-op members to please conserve power when you can. Pretty simple things, delay washing clothes and drying them, of course, running your dishwasher, and set your thermostat down if you want electric heat or gas heat even. Set it back to about 68, just put on an extra jacket. And then lastly, if you actually have an electric water heater, we're asking you that you delay taking a shower. I promise your loved one will still love you just the same, and you'll probably be a little bit better off with that. Water heater is your second highest usage of power within your home, if you didn't know that. I'm just rambling, Jenny.
That's all right. That was a lot of great information for everyone. So where, if they want to stay informed, where's the best place for people to go and find that info?
Sure. I would say during times like when a curtailment is called for, like last night, we had a call from, we've got 2 regional transmission organizations that we work with, which are basically like the air traffic controllers for generation and transmission dispatch among, 30 or so states. And so if a need arises, if they have a certain area that's off balance because of more demand than supply, then they'll give us a notice. And last night I think it was a 20-minute notice to shed 45 megawatts. Mm-hmm. So we were able to do that fairly quickly through the interruptibles that I mentioned before. Mm-hmm. We did have to ask for some brief curtailments of specific targeted areas. And my friends at Entergy had to do a little bit bigger call last night also, I believe. Just so you know, we're all in contact with each other. We're all aware of what each other are doing. So it's a consistent process. The key thing about a curtailment is designed to ensure that the system remains stable. You're basically your grid. In the event that these curtailments, what they're designed to do is briefly interrupt service to many people to ensure everybody has adequate energy for the long term during this. Actually, it's a historic winter weather situation that we're in. Record lows, not just in Arkansas, but across many regions. We're not able to get natural gas because, believe it or not, the gas wells have actually frozen over in some areas. And you guys and ladies are all farmers, and you understand gas is a traded commodity. So if a supply is down, price goes up, and which increases the price tremendously for natural gas. This is a situation that we've been working on for years with the government with regards to policies. Each of you are fully aware of working on the Farm Bill policies and other policies. We're in the same boat in the utility industry where we have to work with whatever policy the federal government decrees, and then we do our best to ensure that we can deliver affordable, reliable power to all of our members throughout the state.
Right. Thank you for that. Thank you for that info. And how long, I mean, I know this is a broad question, but how long do you think this should last?
Sure. This is an historic event. Honestly, like I said, we go through drills with this. My friends that have retired from the co-op, they've confirmed with me we've never had to do a winter curtailment. Typically, it would be in the summertime, but this situation, as it's hit, it's a combination of factors that just couldn't be prevented. It's not human error. It's just the way things are right now. And people always want to know, well, what about all the renewable resources you've got? Well, the wind turbines in Kansas, Oklahoma are actually frozen. They can't turn, which creates an issue with that. The solar projects that are growing tremendously throughout the state, and we're big supporters of all this, but they're covered with snow in many instances. And if you're sitting where I'm sitting, the sun's not shining very much today, and maybe not when you're there at your home or your farm, so it can't produce power. So we're back to base load resources. Also the hydro projects, people always want to know about that. We have hydroelectric facilities also. Unfortunately, some of those, if it's got frozen ice, it's kind of funny, isn't it?
Yeah, frozen ice.
If there's ice in the river, we have to be careful because the intakes on the hydro facilities can actually freeze over. And then there's a danger also if a big chunk of that ice comes through the intake, it can damage the turbines that actually produce power at the hydro facility, creating a much larger problem for that facility. It could be down for months at a time with that situation. So it's not good news, but you know, I was raised on a farm just like most of you were in Northeast Arkansas. And one thing we know is that we have to keep going, which we will. And you have the reassurance of the electric co-ops that will ensure that we're working as hard as we possibly can to ensure you have adequate capacity and power at your home and farm, because we know you depend on us just like we depend on the farmers to feed us.
Yeah, thank you so much. I know it's a very busy day for you, so it just speaks to you taking the time to speak to our farmers because you know how important it is. So at the end of this video, we'll probably put up some information where people can keep updated and look. And I'm sure people will have comments. So if we need to send them your way to get answered, we might do that as well.
You're more than welcome. I'm happy to help Farm Bureau, who I've been a proud member of for my whole life, just about, and proud supporter of Arkansas agriculture. B&R Farms in Northeast Arkansas, Cousin Brian and Cousin Danny, keep up the good work. If you see this, Grandpa told you I'd be somewhere someday. So I'm happy to help, of course, at anything I could possibly do to help Arkansas Farm Bureau, because I know they would equally reach out to help us in a time of need. And I guess the time of need now would be back to the conservation, just a plea to hold off using electric things you don't have to run all the time right now. It will make a big difference. It's just like any other thing with the Federation. If everybody tries a little, it ends up being a lot, which makes a huge difference. And in this situation, it makes a huge difference in the electricity. And people, you asked me a question and I neglected to answer it, Jenny.
Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't do it on purpose.
All right. People do all the time.
If your local electric cooperative, there are 17 local electric cooperatives throughout the state of Arkansas, much like your county offices. So one of those co-ops serves your area, and what they will do as quickly as we know, we will post messages on social media. That seems to be the quickest way to get messaging out to everyone, because like I said, we don't have the luxury of being able to robocall everybody, which quite frankly, nobody really cares for anyway. So we've been using that method and we plan to use that in the future. But just to restate right now, we have no plans for additional rolling curtailments at this point. once again, it's sort of like the weather too, though. You know, you may plan on cutting rice that day and you might not be able to because of the weather, etc. And man, I really feel for you guys out chopping ice on your ponds today too. Did that a few times growing up.
Yeah.
Not a lot of fun, but it's part of the deal.
Yeah. We're getting a lot of videos from our farmers we're putting up right now of what they're doing right now, showing people that it never stops. The work never stops for our farmers and ranchers. So, and
Yep.
work's not stopping for you right now either. So
nope. We actually run 24/7, 365,
right.
rain, sleet, snow,
Right.
knock on wood, earthquake,
Right.
ice storms, etc. I am proud to be able to say that we've had very minor weather-related power outages due to the weather that's happening right now. And I don't know if you're like me, but I'm in Bryant, Arkansas right now, and to say we've been abundantly blessed with snow would be beyond truthful. Tons of snow. I can't remember this much snow except when I was a kid in Northeast Arkansas. And I think it was 1980. We had feet of snow, and it was a lot of fun for me back then. Mom and Dad weren't so happy, but the kids liked it. So hopefully your children and grandchildren get to enjoy the snow. I don't believe we've had a good snow in quite a while in Arkansas. Certainly a time of beauty to enjoy what God's presented to us, and just count our blessings every day that we live in such a good country that we're able to work and enjoy our liberties.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think that's the perfect way to end our interview. So if people have comments or whatnot, we'll field those and see if we can get those answered as best we can. We're also going to put info at the end of this video. So Rob, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to keep us updated and informed. We really appreciate it. And yeah, we'll hopefully not be talking to you too much soon, but we'll get some answers from you here soon.
Hey, Jenny, I'm always happy to help. Feel free to give me a call, and I promise, as soon as I get off the other call, I will get back to you and we'll get you all fixed up. Okay.